Welcome back to the 10th episode of the Broad Street Sports Podcast featuring Zachary Chavy and Logan Burns.
What's up? So we'll start off with the NBA Finals today, move on to the MLB, then NHL and their finals, and then finish up with NFL offseason.
So, last night was Game 3, which the Nuggets commanded most of the game, and they took a 2-1 series lead. What were your thoughts about that game overall?
I mean, it was good in the beginning, and then I stopped watching like halfway through the third quarter because I didn't want to watch that anymore.
The Heat, they're a good team, but when they start missing shots, especially against a good Nuggets team, it's going to start to go downhill very quickly. So
yeah, I mean, they did good game 2. Like that was. I feel like game 2 so far was the best game out of the 3. I mean, like, both teams had, like, at least, like, a 10-point lead.
And then blew it.
Yeah.
And then, Like, Heat started off strong. Yeah. And the Nuggets came back and surged in front, and then they lost the lead. The Heat, they just played a really good fourth quarter. Yeah. And they tried to play a good fourth quarter to start, but then they couldn't go on a streak. They could maybe hit one bucket at a time and then miss, and then the Nuggets were easily scoring.
Yeah, well, I mean, for Game 2, all the Heat really did was just tire out the Nuggets because so far in the playoffs, they'd never really had to play through being, like, tired. Mm-hmm. I mean, they never had to play somebody like that.
And their three-point shooters were getting open, but they are actually making them, which makes a difference. And then what Mike Malone did, he played Jamal Murray more minutes last night than he did the game before. He barely gave him any rest, which is a good thing because the announcers brought it up. They said, if you're going to lose, you're going to lose with your best players on the floor, which they put their best players on the floor, and it succeeded. And once again, when Jokic is not the main scorer on that team succeeds. Yes, he had over 30 points, but he had 10 rebounds and 10 assists. Him dishing it to other people and also scoring at the same time made it nearly impossible for the Heat to stand any chance in that second half.
Yep. I mean, they made history. Game 3, both, Jokic and Murray both had double-triple and 30 points.
Or I think it was Jokic, he broke, he had, a record for the most 30-point, 20 rebounds game, so.
Yeah, I mean, good for them. I mean, they're doing really good.
Now, he even had 10 rebounds. Yeah, he had over 20 rebounds. Yeah. And then over 10 assists, which that's really good for him. If he keeps doing what he's doing, then the Nuggets are probably going to win it.
I mean, they're doing
I think the Heat, they're looking at this game saying, I think to start the game they really stood no chance because they weren't hitting shots early. They were staying in the game, don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
But they could have had chances where they could have gone ahead, but they didn't. They let the Nuggets stay in, and then the Nuggets just took over that second half. Through these first 3 games, that's just the best second half. Mike Malone even said it. Every first 2 games, even Game 1, he said they didn't win the fourth quarter because the Heat almost came back. Yeah. And especially they did not win the fourth quarter in Game 2 because they actually lost.
Yeah.
But Game 3 in the fourth quarter, they dominated. Yeah. And they won the fourth quarter. What Mike Malone said is the biggest thing because the Heat are a good team, but if you let them cook in the fourth quarter, then there's a good chance they'll probably come back and win no matter what the deficit is.
Yeah.
But a guy I really want to look at is Christian Braun. These past 2 games, he has stepped up. Game 2 especially, he had 3 steals. But then, last night, he had, I think, 15, 16 points in, only 20 minutes. He made a huge impact in that game for the Nuggets. And I'm not going to say without him they would have won, but he would pretty much took the Nuggets over the top and made them win this game because he just chipped in what Murray and Jokic were already doing in that game.
Yeah.
But if I'm the Heat, you still have a chance in this series, obviously.
Yeah.
I think the only way the Heat don't stand a chance is if somehow Michael Porter Jr. gets hot. If he somehow, starts to wake up and actually score, then it's over for the Heat because they're still succeeding without him on the floor, which could be very, very interesting if he starts to, actually play up to his standards.
Yeah.
Because I consider him a playmaker and a knockdown three-point shooter. But if he's not doing it on the offensive end, then he has to step up, especially if he's ever on Jimmy Butler, because they're going to have Aaron Gordon on Butler any chance they get. But if I'm Michael Porter, I'm that second guy, so whenever Aaron Gordon's out, I would probably, if I'm him, he has to have the mentality to say, I'm gonna step up and I'm gonna guard Jimmy. If he has that type of confidence, then it's not gonna really, the offense is gonna hurt them, but not as much because they have other guys like Jokic, Murray, Aaron Gordon, Bruce Brown, like other guys that can step up for them and replace with him. As long as he's doing it, if he's not doing it on both sides of the floor, then it makes an impact. But it makes a slight impact if he's only producing on one side of the floor, which is the defense, which is the biggest of all. Because say he's locking up Butler, right?
Yeah.
Then on the offensive end, the Nuggets can score with the guys they have on the court, and Michael Porter Jr., even though he's not making the shots, he's making an impact in the game so the Nuggets can succeed without him actually being a main scorer in the game.
Yeah. Yeah, but I mean, what was it for Game 3? For some reason, Tyler Hero didn't play at all.
I thought they said he was supposed to return.
Yeah, they said he was definitely gonna play because I know they were looking.
Game 2, they said there was even a chance he could have played, but then I thought, definitely Game 3. But I think, he could have made an impact in this playoffs. But this Miami Heat team, it's a good team, but it gets even better with him on the floor because, unlike these Max Struess's, Duncan Robinsons, he's an actual bucket when it comes to the three ball because Duncan Robinson and Max Strus are so inconsistent, and that's their entire game. Tyler Hero's just not the three. He can knock down threes, but he's a playmaker. That's why he was a six. That's why he could succeeded so well as a six-man, because six-mans you think of as playmakers and scorers, which he succeeds the most at. So
I think the reason they didn't play him was I think they're kind of lying on an extent that he's still injured. I think the only reason they didn't play him, let alone start him, was just because they haven't played with him for 7 weeks, give or take, something like that.
Yeah, it was. He got hurt in Game 1 of the first round, so it's been a while. It's been close to a month. So. Yeah,
so I mean, it's kind of hard to just put him right into a mix of everything because I mean, they've been doing really good without him. So
I think with situations like that, they're gonna probably put him on the bench even if he comes back this series.
Yeah,
I think if the Heat were to stand any chance in this series with or without Hero, tomorrow night's game is a must-win. Because if you go, don't get me wrong, I think they can force 6 even if they're down 3-1.
Yeah.
But they're not winning the series.
Yeah.
If they want any chance of winning the series, they're gonna have to take one in Miami. Because you already stole home court advantage from you stole home court advantage from the Nuggets, but then they took it right back.
Yeah.
But to tie it up going back to Denver is not the worst situation in the world because the Miami Heat, they play. I like them better away than I like them at home.
Alright, yeah.
Because, the crowd, they don't have that much crowd, so I know it doesn't make a difference, but at the same time, I feel like they play better when, Butler even, when he's not, when he's away, he plays better, I feel like.
Yeah.
Or even Caleb Martin, guys who step up, when it matters most. And I think if the Heat somehow take tomorrow's game, and then they could steal Game 5, I could easily see this series going to 7.
Yeah.
And in a Game 7 in the NBA Finals, it's just gonna come down to who's gonna step out the most and how are your star players gonna perform against not only in the biggest series of the playoffs in the NBA Finals, but the biggest 2 words in a playoff series, Game 7, NBA Finals, the light shining the brightest, and how are your star players gonna show Jimmy Butler, Bam Adebayo, and then Jamal Murray and Nikola Jokic. If that series somehow goes to Game 7, it's not going to be based off the roster. It's not going to be based off paper, what these rosters show. It's going to show what happens in that game and what players want to win that championship. Because if it goes to a Game 7, it's win or go home. Literally, I think a Game 7 in NBA Finals is legacy defining. If you if you win a Game 7 in the NBA Finals, then that could completely change your legacy for the rest of your career.
Yeah.
Especially Jimmy Butler. Jimmy Butler could finally get that deserved championship he's been working for years and years and years.
Carry the good old Heat team. I mean, we all seen the team. We seen the team. We all know it'd be very impressive for Jimmy Butler to carry them all the way.
And then even Kyle Lowry, he could be discussed for Hall of Fame discussion. So it definitely should. It's going to be interesting to say the least. So anything else you want to bring up about the finals. What do you expect for tomorrow's game? What do you think needs to happen on both sides?
I think the Heat needs to get their shit together and just not let what happened in Game 3 happen ever again. Just like, they just need to work on their shots. Like, I guess they had, like, a bad night. I guess you could say that, but, like, yes and no. You can't. They got lucky with Game 2. All right, let's look at Game 2. So, both teams had, like, a 10-point lead at one point. So, they kind of got lucky there. But, like, with the team with a team like the Nuggets, you can't let them get 15 points on you because you're not coming back from that. Jokic is too big, and he's not going to miss. And Jamal Murray's not far behind Jokic either.
He's a great playmaker.
Yeah.
Like, and other guys around that Nuggets team can also hit occasional threes. Like,
yeah.
Like KCP and Bruce Brown.
Yeah. I don't know. I think all the Heat just have to do is just, like, have a good night, I guess, and just start.
One player I do want to give props to on the Miami Heat is Bam Adebayo. Because he's came into this series and he's brought, like, he's giving everything he's got. He's been producing in this series. Like, I don't think he had a 20-point game last night, but he had something close to it. Like, what he is expected to do, he has been doing it, and perfectly. And now it's time for the other guys to step up. Like, Gabe Vincent, he's had his game. Game 2 was his game to have, and he took it.
Yeah.
Like, now I think it's time. Like, Caleb Martin, I think he at least has one signature game like he had Game 7.
All right.
And Jimmy Butler's got to at least, like, if he's dropping 56 against Milwaukee in the first round, he's got to have a signature game in the finals. Like, and then I think, obviously, the changes increases if you get Tyler Hero back. Yeah. But not only that, like, the spacing, I feel like, becomes better because, like, Jimmy Butler, like, I feel like with Butler, Hero, and Adebayo on the floor at the same time, those are three guys that can get a bucket for you at any time. Like, like, you can have only the two players that are producing for you right now are Butler and Adebayo. Other guys are producing too. But one of them off the floor, they seem to struggle. But you get Hero back in that's pretty much replacing almost close to production. One of them is leaving when they go to the bench. Like, you have Adebayo, Hero, or you have Hero, Butler. You have Butler and Adebayo. With Hero can come in at any time. It creates huge dividends, like, on what can happen. And it could change, like, say Nuggets somehow win tomorrow night and Hero comes back. I would still like Miami's chances because they're getting one of their big players back, a guy who could completely change the series around if he wanted to.
Yeah.
It should be interesting now, to say the least.
Yeah.
Any more points you got, or?
Nah, you can move on. What is it? MLB next?
Yeah. Wait, one more point.
Right.
Do you think, I'm going to ask you a couple, like, questions, like, under, over, point scores.
All right.
How much, Jimmy Butler, 20 points, under or over?
Over.
Over?
Probably get like 25, something like that.
25?
Yeah, close.
What about Jokic, 10 assists, under or over?
He'll probably get at least 10, maybe like 11, 12. Because he's staying pretty consistent with that.
Let's go with Bam Adebayo rebounds. 9, under or over?
Over.
Over 9 rebounds?
Yeah, he'll probably get like 10, 11, something like that.
And then, you know what? Let's say Tyler Hero plays tomorrow night.
Okay.
If he doesn't, I'll give you another option. If Tyler Hero plays tomorrow night, let's go with 15 points, under or over?
I'm going to say a little bit lower just because if he does play, that'd be his first game in like 7 weeks. So I don't expect him to like pop off. I don't know. At the very least, he'll get 7, but he won't get... At the very least, he'll get a little... He might get a little bit over 15, but not by much.
Yeah.
Like, he'll probably get somewhere between, like, 10 and, like, 17, I'll say.
And then, who do you think leading scorer on Nuggets and leading scorer on Heat is?
The leading scorer will probably be Jokic or Jamal Murray, but I'm going to lean more towards Jokic.
Okay.
And then for the Heat, I want to say either like Jimmy Butler or like I'm gonna say Gabe Vincent.
Gabe Vincent?
Yeah, he's been going off a little bit.
And then last question: who wins the game?
The game?
Yep.
I think the Heat has to win, so I'm just gonna say the Heat.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's just a couple questions I want to ask you.
Yeah. Okay.
Like, I think the Heat the Nuggets are. I think the Nuggets are going to be the betting favorite every game.
Yeah.
But the Heat are going to surprise a lot of people.
Yeah.
They already did in game. But the Heat cannot. I'm finding a streak. This is the last thing, and then we'll move on.
Yeah.
This is thing I'm finding consistent between these first 3 games, which the Heat need to fix if they want any chance of winning this series. Game 1, terrible shooting the 3. Game 2, they come back and start knocking 3 after 3 after 3.
Yeah.
First half, they were knocking down 3s, but they were missing a lot, and then second half was just abysmal. They cannot continue to have game after game unconsistently or consistent. Like, they have to be consistent.
Yeah.
They can't be one night knockdown 3-point shooter team or knockdown 3-point shooting team, and then the next night they can barely hit 3s and they are super cold because most of those guys are known for the 3, like Duncan Robinson and Max Strus. That's their entire game. They're not a playmaker. They are just a they're just a catch and 3 shooter.
Yeah.
Like I would get not maybe close to a 3-and-D, but mostly known for their 3.
Yeah, Duncan Robinson always hits he's always known mid-game for hitting important 3s. It's the last 5 minutes though of the fourth quarter. Don't give him the ball. Don't get Duncan Robinson the ball. He can't do shit. Gabe
Vincent is one of the best. I think he overall all these undrafted guys. I would have him and then Caleb Martin as my 1 and 2.
Yeah.
Gabe Vincent is a playmaker. The way he can score, but then also assist and make plays for his team is something else. And then Caleb Martin, when you saw that last night, he had 8 straight points, and he can catch fire at any time. And I think keeping Kevin Love in the starting lineup is smart to start the game because he brings great effort, and he's always hitting the floor, which is what the kind of mentality the Heat wants. So
yeah.
Should be interesting now. All right, we're going to move on. That was longer than expected. Let's move on to some MLB.
Yep.
So, the Phillies, they're looking to go for their, I believe it's 5th straight win?
5th? I think so.
Yeah.
Oh, look, yeah.
They beat the Nationals twice, and then they beat the Tigers. Yeah, 5-game win streak. So, what are your thoughts on this past 4-game win streak?
Thank God. I mean, we've had a drought for a good minute.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we pretty much just.
What's been the most exciting to see?
I mean, Trey Turner, he did good against, what was it, the Nationals? Yeah. Was the last game against the Nationals or the first game against the Tigers?
It was the first game against the Tigers.
First game, that's what it was, yeah. He did good against that game. I mean, I'm great. I'm happy to see that.
I think as long as he has a decent June, that's all that matters.
Yeah.
If he's at the bat, I don't mind him having that night and then not getting any hits the next night, but as long as he's consistent, or say he gets a couple hits one night and then he goes quiet, maybe gets 1.
Yeah.
If he goes back the next night and then does have a 3-4 hit game, I will take that.
Yeah.
That will be fine by me because at least he's being consistent. Because you saw it. Sorry.
You're good.
As long as he does his thing and you saw it. He was the main guy in game 1. Then game 2 he was quiet, but other guys stepped up.
Yeah.
That's why it's a team game because one of your best players, Trey Turner, he's been struggling. He found himself on Monday night, and he was 4 or 5 and had a really good game.
Yeah.
Then the next night he wasn't that good, but Kyle Schwarber leadoff home run, and then Taijuan Walker 7 shutout innings, which is very promising for him because he's been very inconsistent this year. But here's one quick question before we move on to the next subject. MLB. What are you more impressed by, the pitching right now or the hitting?
Ooh, they're both kind of bad.
But these past couple games.
Past couple? I'm gonna say hitting.
Hitting?
We've been doing really good. Our pitching has always been goofy, and
the Nationals we've had before the 1-0 win, we had 4 straight games with one player at least hitting 2 homers. Castellanos' first game against Washington. Then it was who was it the second game?
Was it?
I think it was. Wasn't it
I think
it was that new guy the guy who hit 2 home runs.
I don't remember his name. I know who you're talking about.
Yeah, I think it was that, and then Schwarber and Cody Clemens.
Yeah.
Oh no, it was Cody Clemens the day before, and then it was Schwarber and the other guy on Sunday, and then it was Trey Turner on Monday.
Yeah.
But that's pretty good. Like, that shows promise in your offense. And now getting in the month of June, you know what Schwarber's going to do. Yeah. He's going to get the bat on the ball and hit it out of the ballpark. It's the other guys in this lineup. You're going to have Castellanos. He's already shown me he's ready to play this year. Yeah. It's these other guys in the lineups. Like, Bryson Stott had a great start to the year. It's been kind of iffy these past couple months.
I think with Bryson Stott, he did really good in the beginning of the season when nobody else was really doing that good. And I'm fine with that. If he wants to take a break, I don't give a damn. Because, I mean, Trey Turner's starting to heat up a little bit. Kyle Schwarber's starting to heat up a little bit.
Because this is Schwarber. This is the best Schwarber you're going to get. Yeah. Once the weather starts to get better, that's when his bat explodes. Like, he's going to have, like, a 30-40 home run season this year. That's what you're going to get from these other guys. Castellanos, he's going to be a consistent hitting guy for you. Like, he's not going to get you the homers, but he's going to be on base. And these other guys, I think if Trey Turner can finally wake up, I would lock him in at the cleanup spot. Because if he starts hitting consistently, these guys like Schwarber, Castellanos, who like to get on base, and then Harper, he's just the whole package, which he needs to, like, start hitting. But you know Harper, he just came back from an injury, but I'll give him all the props because we would be nowhere where we are right now without him, especially last year. Yeah. His bat will wake up. But if you have those three guys on fire and Trey Turner wakes up, anything's possible. Because him at the cleanup spot, the wonders or like the dream or the imagination, like your imagination could be anything. Yeah. Like,
I mean, with Bryce Harper, I mean, he started late, and he's not doing bad saying he started late. I think he has, like, 9 or 10 RBIs, somewhere around there.
Yeah, and he has
like, that's
homers.
Not bad for starting, like, late in the season. Mm-hmm. So that's pretty good. I mean, he got his shit together quickly, and he's doing good.
Like, yeah, I think this month of June is really going to show what this team wants to be. And we have good pitching. It's just, is it going to step up?
Yeah.
And just think about it.
Yeah, right?
We have guys hurt right now in Alvarado and Alec Bohm.
Yeah.
Just imagine what this team... Like, you put Alec Bohm back in this lineup. Derek Hall's hurt. Christian Pache, he was actually playing well before he got hurt. You put all these guys back in the lineup. Your only big miss is Rhys Hoskins.
Yeah.
Which, he could come back, but other than that, your team is still very good. That's a big gap to fill, but you got replacements like Derek Hall. Yeah. And then you can put Alec Bohm at third base. Like, when this team is completely healthy, this is a championship contending team. Yeah. It's just how will they perform when it matters the most. Yeah. In these June, July, and August, this is where it's going to matter the most for the Phillies.
Yeah. I mean, the Phillies are starting to cook up a little bit. I mean, our pitching's still a little goofy. I mean, currently, what is it? I feel like Kimbrel's like our best pitcher currently.
In the relief, Dominguez has been pitching well.
Yeah, I guess, but I mean, I guess Aaron Nola, because he started off goofy, so he's starting to kind of get a little better.
That Tigers game was the best game of the season for him.
Yeah, he did really good that game.
Think about it, though. We had Ranger Suarez, final game of the series against Washington, pitched a great game.
Yeah.
Then Nola comes in on Monday, pitches a great game, 12 strikeouts. Yeah. Like, it looks like a vintage Aaron Nola game. Like, when he's feeling it, like, the stats he puts up, like that kind of game he had. And then Taijuan Walker had a great game. This game could probably project him to hopefully being the pitcher we saw in New York with him.
Yeah.
He had 7 Ks or 7 or 8 Ks, a season high, and lasted till the 7th inning.
Yeah.
Not giving up. Not giving up any runs because we won 1-0.
Yeah.
That was a great game from him.
Yeah. So, I'm sure his arm fell off like right after that. I mean. 7 innings?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, he did really good.
Mm-hmm. Well, let's move on. So, Phillies, hopefully they start picking up. But let's move on to other news in the MLB. I want to talk about this kid who just came up from the Reds, De La Cruz. Yeah. I don't know if you saw last night what he did.
I didn't watch the game, but I saw highlights.
Yeah, this kid looks like something special. Like, like, I'll just give you a quick recap. So, he leads, like, his first at bat, he hits a nuke, it was his second. His first at bat, he hit an absolute bomb for a home run, like 450 feet.
Yeah.
Then he comes back the next at bat, and what looks like an easy double after he nuked it, he turns into a triple. He's got the power but the speed. He's like the perfect package. Like,
yeah.
Like, it's absolutely crazy.
Bro, his feet was moving faster than his body. Like, that's why he got a triple.
And he's tall, too.
Yeah.
Like, he's like... It's like Tyreek Hill if he had height. Like...
Yeah. I mean, yeah, he smacked the shit out of that ball. He had a family and all.
Yeah.
But, I don't know. Yeah, went all the way in the back.
What's your thoughts on this kid so far? That was only his second game in the majors.
I mean, if you keep doing that, you'll definitely be in the Hall of Fame. If you do that about, like, maybe twice a week, you're solid.
Mm-hmm.
You're set for life.
It just should be interesting to see what he does throughout the season because this is June where players start to mash, they start to destroy the baseball, and he's, like, the trajectory he could do, like, other guys in the league right now are playing great as rookies. Yeah. He could beat all of them in the Rookie of the Year. Like, and starting so late should be interesting to say the least. But any other topics you want to talk about in baseball or?
No, not really. I mean,
like, teams. It's gonna start to get very interesting these next couple of weeks, especially with June now.
Yeah.
Just a couple teams I want to talk about real quick, if you don't mind. The Texas Rangers. Mm-hmm. They have been playing great baseball, and Marcus Semien is one of the best hitters in the game right now. And you know what's crazy about this? They haven't been doing this with Jacob deGrom, and they're not going to be doing it with Jacob deGrom because I don't know if you heard he's going to get Tommy John surgery.
Yeah.
So that's going to knock him out for the year. But if they're consistently doing this, they're gonna be a good team. And a guy I really want to give credit to on that team, not only Marcus Semien, but Nathan Eovaldi. He had a great month last year. He had a month of May, I think he was 4 or 5-0, and his ERA was below 1. Like it's something like.
Yeah.
And then I want to go to the National League, the Arizona Diamondbacks. Both these teams I'm talking about, they're both first in their division with teams that have won the World Series, and the Astros and the Dodgers, and they're playing great baseball right now. The Diamondbacks, they got guys like Corbin Carroll, Ketel Marte, Lourdes Gurriel, Zach Gallen at pitching for pitcher. They got guys around on that team that can play really well, and they have been playing well. Like, I want to see how they turn. I want to see how they end up at the end of the year. I expect the Rangers to be in the playoffs because they are a good team and they're finally stepping up.
Yeah.
And the Diamondbacks, I just want to see if this can be a consistent thing with them because the Dodgers, they're always gonna be up there. It's just, are the Diamondbacks gonna stay and compete with them?
Yeah. I mean.
Yeah, it'll be interesting.
Yeah, both really good teams. I mean, they're chilling. Mm-hmm. Makes me nervous though because I think we played the Dodgers are our next series for the Phillies.
Yes.
And then we play Diamondbacks.
We do?
I think so. Yeah. I think it's the Diamondbacks. I believe is a 4-game series.
Yeah, I know we play the Athletics.
That's after the Diamondbacks. Yeah. See, look, we play Arizona and then the A's. Yeah. So we play Dodgers, then Diamondbacks, and then we play the A's. I
just hope that we play good baseball during that stretch.
Yeah, we really have to. That's 7 hard games.
Mm-hmm.
If we can at least win, so there's 4 and 3. So
I think we can win every series if we really want to play the baseball we want to. But I think the series I'm most nervous about would probably be the Diamondbacks. Dodgers, yeah, they're a good team, but they're coming off. They won today against the Reds, but they lost the series.
Yeah.
Like, they lost 2 straight, but it's the Dodgers. Anything's possible with them. They could lose this series and then start destroying baseballs against us. So.
Plus, we already played them, right?
Yeah, we played them in LA.
Yeah,
I think we didn't. I think we won maybe a game.
I think we won 1 game. We lost the other 2.
Mhm.
But yeah, I mean it's 7 rough games, I guess on some level. I think we'll win at least 4 out of the 7.
That wouldn't be terrible.
Yeah, I mean it's still pretty good.
Best situation for the Phillies before we move on is if they can get a positive record out of that stretch of games.
Yeah.
The Athletics, I swear, if we don't sweep them, there's gonna be something that's happening.
Somebody's getting fired.
If we even lose the series, things are gonna have to happen very quickly.
Oh, somebody's definitely gonna get fired if that happens. If I don't know, somebody.
Yeah.
Either in pitching or hitting. I don't know.
But Nola, you're going away.
Yeah.
And then, all right, so let's move on to the NHL now. So, the finals have been kicked off.
Bro, the Panthers are joking. What the fuck?
And the Vegas Golden Knights.
What the fuck?
And the Vegas Golden Knights have just been commanding so far. Like,
I know.
Florida showed fight in Game 1, but my God, Game 2 was just
7-2. Is that what the score was?
Yeah, they took out. The Panthers took out their goalie.
Yeah.
With like, he gave up 4 goals on 15 shots.
Oh, that's not good.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's not good. I don't watch a lot of hockey, but even though I even know that's bad. That's just, you can't do that.
Yeah, that was something interesting, but we're gonna see how that goes. Maybe Florida can take 2, but I want to switch the topic off NHL for a little bit. I don't know if you saw that the Flyers made a pretty big trade. They traded Ivan Provorov for a lot of good assets. I believe it was 4 picks and 3 or 4 players.
I know we made a trade. I don't know exactly what the trade was.
We traded Provorov to Columbus.
Yeah.
The LA Kings are taking on Ivan Provorov's salary, and then we got back 2 NHL players, a prospect, and 4 picks. One of them being the 23rd pick in this draft, which we have the 7th and 23rd now.
Yeah.
And then a future pick. I forget what pick. I think it might be a first round pick, and then 2 future second round picks.
Yeah. I mean, I smell a rebuild, so I'm fine with that.
And it's about time. Like the you it's better to start rebuilding now because then in a couple years, the assets you can acquire, if they actually turn out to be sky's the limit.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not really one against a rebuild. That's always fine with me, as long as they play their cards right.
Yeah,
I don't care.
And not be like the Sixers.
Yeah, we don't talk about the Sixers.
Yeah, I don't know if you saw. I don't know if you ever heard of this. Back when the Sixers were doing their rebuild, they drafted Joel Embiid, and then they traded for Nerlens Noel and traded Drew Holiday, and then the next year, already having 2 centers on their roster, they drafted Jahlil Okafor with the 3rd pick in the 2015 draft, adding a third center.
I kind of remember that.
Adding a 3rd center to the team. Hopefully the Flyers aren't that stupid when it comes to stuff like that. But it's the Flyers, for crying out loud. Anything's possible with them.
Yeah, they need to get like a Howie Roseman or some shit. They need to get their hockey version of Howie Roseman, for the love of God.
Mm-hmm.
But who knows? I mean, yeah, if they start to become good, I might actually start watching hockey.
Mm-hmm.
That'd be a blessing in disguise.
Yeah. Anything else you want to bring up about the NHL? Anything you want to talk about the finals or?
No, not really. I mean, I've been keeping up with it. I haven't really been watching it though, but I keep up with it.
Okay, let's move on to the final topic of today. So, NFL. We have 2 new transactions. One being released and one being a signing. What your thoughts on both of them? First one happened earlier in the day. Vikings released Dalvin Cook. They just can't find a trade partner for him, and they just do the inevitable and release him. Then, and it works out because it was a June 1st move, so they saved more salary cap in the long run. And then just right now, the Broncos signed Frank Clark to a 1-year, $7.5 million deal. What are your thoughts on both moves?
Dalvin Cook, not surprised.
It was the inevitable.
Yeah.
Like, it was going to be hard to find a trade partner to take on his salary.
Yeah.
So they just ended up doing the inevitable and releasing him, which he'll be probably fine to take sooner or later, but it's the move the Vikings had to make. And they already have Alexander Madison there, who's going to be a huge guy to pick up in fantasy this year.
Yeah.
He's one of the main guys I'm looking at for fantasy this year to get a lot of points, because now since he's the number 1 guy, they're going to give it to him in the red zone even more, and he's going to get even more points being the primary back in that offense.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not surprised. He'll probably go. I think he'll go to the Bills.
Bills?
Because I heard he's either going to the Dolphins, Bills, or Cowboys, and I think the Bills is the best bet.
Yeah, because there he plays with his brother, which would be pretty cool. And then also he's going to an offense that has Josh Allen, Stephon Diggs, who he played with, so he has that chemistry already there with him.
Yeah.
And guys like Gabe Davis, Dawson Knox, Dalton Kincaid, guys who are there, and a not bad offensive line that can help him play well.
Yeah.
And maybe even finally get the Bills over the hump.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, I wouldn't rely so much on Stephon Diggs because, I mean, he's kind of been looking to get out of the Bills a little bit. It's not as much now, as much like earlier, a couple weeks ago, but I mean, who knows? He might just jump ship one day, tap out, go to Cowboys. Who knows?
It should be interesting. And then, what are your thoughts on the Frank Clark signing?
I feel like that's more of I guess not like a random one, but I don't know. Who did he go to? The Chiefs or no?
Broncos.
They went.
He was with the Chiefs,
and then went to the
Broncos.
I mean, nothing can save the Broncos, in my opinion. the Broncos are just a dumpster fire too on some level.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, who knows? I don't even know. They got Sean Payton. I haven't really been keeping up with the Broncos. I know they got Sean Payton. That's all I've really heard from that.
And I think they brought in some other players, but they're just Sean Payton was their biggest move.
Yeah.
I think this is their last hope because trading all those assets for Russell Wilson. I don't know. Bringing up Russell Wilson. I don't know if you heard the rumor that came out in the past couple of days.
No.
The Eagles had a done deal with the Seahawks to trade for Russell Wilson, but Russell Wilson said he did not want to get traded to the Eagles. And you know the package the Seahawks got for Denver. It would have been, this is the package they were thinking it was going to be. Jalen Hurts, Josh Sweat, and multiple first-round picks. That could have ruined the Eagles completely.
Yeah.
No A.J. Brown, no Jordan Davis, no Jalen Carter, no Nolan Smith. Guys would have not been here if we made that move. So I'm happy we didn't.
Yeah.
But going back to the Broncos, Sean Payton is their last glimmer of hope to contend for one more championship. Because it's been year after year. They've had good coaches, or at least mid-coaches, but they haven't had the quarterback. They finally got the quarterback, but they blame it on the coach and the quarterback. So they get rid of the coach, and now they bring in one of the most successful coaches in the league, in Sean Payton, to try to fix Russell Wilson. So if I'm Russell Wilson, not only is this your last hope in the Broncos, this is your last for your career.
Yeah.
Say you don't play well, the Broncos could easily trade you or release you, and who knows if you have a chance to win a Super Bowl before you retire. So this is Russell Wilson's last chance to finally show why he deserves to be in the Hall of Fame, or to be talked about as one of the greatest quarterbacks to ever play the game.
Yeah, Russell Wilson's definitely a good quarterback. I don't know if the Broncos are good. I don't even think he'll ever win a Super Bowl. In my opinion, I feel like he peaked during that Legion of Boom era. I feel like that was his peak. That was just the peak of the Seahawks.
Because he had the defense to support him, and then the offense was good enough for them to succeed.
Yeah, I mean that was just a great team all around. I mean that defense was terrifying.
That was something else.
That was a wacky time. Yeah.
Anything else you want to really talk about? Any really other news?
No, I'm good.
Okay. So that's going to wrap it up for today. We got these are the points we really wanted to focus on. So that's it for now. We'll talk to you guys later. Have a good day and stay safe.
All right. See ya.